everybody. Welcome to EVkids. It's a thumbs up type of evening tonight. Welcome to the first ever virtual Expanding Horizons Gala celebrating 40 years of EVkids. I am your host, Latoya Edwards, for this magical evening. And our theme this evening is closing the distance, even more urgent in this political and public health environment right now. So we may be just a little bit further apart, not in the same room like 40 years of galas and 40 years of excellence, but I promise you a magical evening tonight, an evening where you will laugh, you will cry, you will feel so many emotions. As you know, I've been here before. I've loved hosting this thing, and I can tell you that I've looked at the program and I have cried every time we've had a run through. So I promise you a beautiful evening tonight. More importantly, I promise you a chance to help further the magic that is EVkids. I can tell you firsthand that it truly launches and empowers children of Boston and puts them on a path of success for year after year. So we want EVkids to continue, and we're going to do that work tonight. Well, how do we do that? We do that by the donate and tickets button. It will stay above me for the rest of this short program, and you hopefully will click on that many times so that we can meet our goal this evening. You can help raise the funds necessary to continue building the relationships that have changed the lives of people you'll hear from tonight, and they have such special stories. So you may say, well, what is our goal for the evening? $140,000. Makes sense. 40 years of celebrating and encouraging EVkids to grow at $140,000 goal. Well, I know that sounds lofty, folks, but you have already done so much of the work. We are very close, as you can see, to reaching our goal right now, and it's beautiful, but we do have some work to do in this short amount of time. So I hope you will click that donate button and really make a difference in the lives of EVkids for now. And we have you covered. If you have any trouble viewing this event or making a donation, we have you covered with our own sort of geek squad. You can email techsupport@evkids.org, techsupport@evkids.org, and they will help you out with any challenges that you may have by viewing and donating to our program tonight. So what's the story? How did we get here right now? Well, we got here by a beautiful couple, really. Murray Claude and Brian Thompson. They founded EVkids as Earthen Vessels in 1980. They are angels on this earth, and they have hearts of gold. So they saw this. They had the vision for this program in 1980, and with tutoring, college success, and camp, EVkids now serves more than 120 low-income students in Boston, and they do such work. They do from fourth grade through college, but it's not just college. Once you are in EVkids, I mean, they're in your DNA. Literally, I can tell you that they helped move me into my college dorm. They attended my graduation. They attended my marriage. They sent a baby gift for my first child, my second child. Once you're part of the EVkids family, it's a beautiful thing, and they continue with you and walk with you hand in hand through the rest of your life. And so you will be a part of this family from now on. We have such beautiful videos to show you to sort of illustrate that point. You know, when I first found EVkids, I was not a news anchor. I was a 12-year-old kid in 6th grade at McCormick Middle School. I climbed my first mountain at EVkids. I started with a tutor, and then they said, you know, they have a camp too. And I said, oh my goodness, you know, do I want to go to a camp in Vermont? And I was a little Dorchester kid, and they drove me up to the camp, and I had to hide my little snacks in there. And right away, my camp counselors found my snacks and introduced me to more healthier foods. And I climbed that mountain. I have a fear of heights, but EVkids helped me get over that fear. Again, walking with me side by side, exposing me to nature. And when we got to the top of that mountain, that taught me things about myself that I carry with me to this day, that I can achieve anything I want to, step by step, one foot in front of the other. That's the life lesson that I got from EVkids, and so many other young people have that same life lesson. So, you know, I always knew I was a smart kid, but it was about the future, really. And the program, they have this one-on-one ratio, this one-on-one attention and support provided by EVkids in the tutoring program. That need is now greater than ever. Think about what the kids are going through in this pandemic. EVkids has successfully expanded 4 virtual tutoring sites. All 97 students returning from last year have been paired with volunteers, the tutors, and from amazing organizations. We're talking about schools like Harvard, Boston College, Tufts, Lesley, UMass Boston, and Northeastern for weekly virtual tutoring. The commitment is still there. The kids are showing up, the tutors are showing up, and they're making good work happen. You've heard enough of my story, at least for right now. I want you to hear directly from 4 decades of alumni how EVkids has closed the distance in their lives.
I'm Yuri Berenger, and I'm an EV kid. I graduated from Boston Latin Academy in 2001 and finished at Northeastern in 2004. I am the Spanish language announcer for the Boston Red Sox and a father of 2. When I found EVkids, I was just starting the 6th grade, and it was a very tough time in my life. I was 12 or 13 years old or so, and had just suffered my 7th cancer relapse. Every Wednesday I was like, ugh, gotta go to EVkids, gotta go to EVkids. But then in high school, I remember I was in a calculus class, in Mr. Murray's calculus class. And about 2 weeks into the school year, calculus was kicking my butt. And all of a sudden I was like, oh God, I gotta go to EVkids. My tutor was a guy named Ezekiel. And I remember thinking, I really need Ezekiel right now because I didn't get this stuff.
Jonathan and I were paired together for 4 years. It was truly sort of a blessing to be able to walk our school journeys together. We started as freshmen and finished as seniors. It provided us a consistency and a platform that we could, with each passing year, build a deeper relationship and a stronger rapport. One day, I took Jonathan out to all-you-can-eat fajitas at Chili's. It ended up being a contest to see just how many refills we could get. It really was sort of a special day and something we talked about often afterwards.
My name is Virginia Anderson, and I'm an EVkids tutor and camp counselor alum. Mary Claude paired me up with a young woman named Gina. She was a total sweetheart. Within the program, there was a tight sense of community and outreach. That's what's so powerful. They know the families, they know the teachers, they know the schools, they know the community. There's so much patience and so much attention.
My name is Sarah Shelton and I am an EV kid. I graduated high school in 2015 and I am a recent graduate of the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth with a degree in small business and entrepreneurship. Today, I am the owner, founder, and CEO of my own company, SJ Health and Beauty, LLC, which has all natural hair care and skin products. At camp, there were a lot of experiences I've never done before, like archery, volleyball, and even hiking. I've never hiked before. Hiking was very scary because there were huge mountains, but once you got to the top of the mountains, the scenery was amazing. During tutoring, Claire loved flashcards. There was always flashcards everywhere. It was literally covering the table. We used flashcards for trigonometry, geometry, history, every subject. I then took that tool of using flashcards to college. Claire loves to hear about my business and everything that I'm working on. Being an EV kid means that you will always and forever have a great network and support system.
I am Rosa Morgan. I am an EV kid. Today, I am the proud mother of 4 daughters, and I manage a supportive studies classroom at Zionsville Middle School in Indiana. I came to America from Cape Verde when I was 10 and a half in 1979. Speaking no English, I met my mom, my stepdad, and 3 sisters for the first time when I got to Boston. EVkids was a savior back then. Every summer, I would look forward to going to camp. I hated hiking, but I loved to go to Vermont.
Hi there, my name is Bailey and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a junior at Lesley University and this is my 3rd year with EVkids. I think my strongest memory from EVkids actually has happened rather recently when we've been tutoring online. She's been on her turf and she has just been loving it. She showed me some new craft work that she's been doing. She's really been getting into bedazzling, and she is ready to go at all times with her bedazzler. To me, EVkids is really just synonymous with community. I think the community that's established here is really just remarkable, whether it's between the tutors or the tutees, how they all know each other, or that they don't know each other and then they see each other at tutoring or at tutor tutee day, and they just bond, and it's so nice.
I tutored Antonio for 3 years. Early on senior year, going through college stuff and applications and the decision overall with Antonio was really exciting because it reminded me of the college process that I once went through myself. It was our 3rd year together, and I saw we had reached a totally different level in our relationship. And he had personally reached a different level in how he was doing in school and interacting with his teachers.
Hi, my name is Abby, and I'm a tutor at EVkids. This is my 2nd year at EVkids, and I go to Boston College. One of my strongest memories from EVkids was definitely tutor tutee day at Boston College last year. I think it was just really fun to get extended time outside of tutoring to just get to know Kiara a little bit more and do fun activities with her.
I'm Eric Thompson, Executive Director at EVkids. I'm a former EVkids camp counselor and a current tutor. This is my 3rd year tutoring Bradley. He is now in 8th grade, and although he gets discouraged when he doesn't master something immediately, he hasn't missed a single tutoring session, either in person or virtual. One of his challenges is reading. He only came to the US 3 years ago. But this summer, at virtual camp, he actually volunteered to read out loud to the group. Somewhere along the way, his confidence is growing.
Eric, that story just touches me in a way. The fact that he volunteered to read out loud and he had that confidence. Eric, Bailey, Nick, Michael, do you see how their eyes light up when they talk about their tutees, when they talk about the campers? There's something so special about the connection with EVkids tutor tutees. I mean, I can't say it better than those videos did. And also, I just want to let you know that as EVkids has grown, as the investment from generous people like you continues to be made, the staff and the one-on-one tutor support, it just makes the kids here in Boston feel like they have an angel with them, truly. You heard Yuri. He's a former camper now, the voice of one of the voices of the Boston Red Sox. He talked about how Julie helped him. Julie also helped me as well. I thought my story was unique. No, clearly I hear this. Julie also took me to take my SATs. She brought me there early in the morning. She waited around. She encouraged me the whole time. And it's those type of stories that lets a child believe in themselves just a bit more, to know that they can once again go to college and make it. You know, a lot of us, we go to EVkids and we come from housing developments and neighborhoods that are not the greatest. I grew up in one, and that's how EVkids connected with me. And what's beautiful about our awardee this evening, he also comes from that experience, and he experienced the need for strong programs growing up in the inner city of Boston, and now he's doing great things, and he knows an excellent program. He knows what it looks like, and he has connected with EVkids in a way that you'll really like to hear right now. I really feel it's an honor to introduce EVkids 2020 Youth Champion of the Year, Robert Lewis Jr. We know each other from personally working on helping young people in the city of Boston. I was thrilled when I found out he was our awardee this year. He's a magical speaker. Robert is one of Boston's greatest advocates for youth. Now, in 2013, Robert, he founded The Base, which reimagines pathways to success for urban youth. The Base combines sports and educational opportunities in environments that cultivates excellence, belief, and love. You got to have that love as well. And what I love about this, more importantly, like EVkids, Robert and The Base believe that the potential of our young people is limitless.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the EVkids 40th Anniversary Gala. I am so excited to be here this evening, but also to be a recipient of the Youth Champion Award. Tonight's such an important night. One, to be here with our host, LaToya Edwards. from NBC News and NECN, who is an EVkids alum. LaToya is a fine example of the investment that EVkids puts into our communities. And what ends up happening are there's LaToya Edwards here and LaToya Edwards everywhere. And I want to just say to LaToya, it's an honor to be part of this celebration with you this evening. I also want to thank one of Boston's finest leaders, Eric Thompson. And Eric, for your work and your leadership and what you have continued to lead on with EVkids and just the contributions that you have made throughout our communities. When you think about the power of EVkids, and tonight it's around so much with the pandemic going on, and what EVkids have been able to do is really close the distance of learning. Closing the distance of learning, and how they've done that through their tutoring programs. And I've had a chance to actually sit on in and to watch the power of the tutors of EVkids, but also more than anything, to be inspired by the young participants that are in this program. And as I said earlier, these young participants en masse will be like the LaToya Edwards and folks that came before them for over 40 years. And 40 years is a significant amount of time for an organization to continue to do the great work that they continue to do. So one, I will say congratulations to EVkids. It's also one of the things that is critically important for EVkids is not just their tutoring, but their work around getting our young folks ready for college, college access, and college success. Your commitment to serving our young folks from the 4th grade to the 12th grade and beyond is something that we know. Our young folks deserve nothing but the best in academic education, the best in mentoring, the best in teaching, and the best opportunities that they can ever have to participate in this 21st century economy. And EVkids, that's what you continue to do even during this pandemic, even during this tough times of folks not seeing each other personally. So your work is critical. Your work is important. Your work is needed. Your commitment to our young folks from Roxbury, Dorchester, and Mattapan, your tutoring sites in our communities of Roxbury and Dorchester are critical. You are focusing on the future success of our generation, the future talent workforce that our community deserves. And for everybody that's on this virtual event, in this virtual celebration, your investment and commitment to EVkids, I just want to thank you. But more than that, EVkids needs this for their next 40 years because there's a generation of folks that are coming behind the current set of young folks that are part of this program. I am honored as the founder and the president of the base to be here because I know the importance of our investment in the next generation of our young folks. So it really, honors me to be here to celebrate with you this evening. I want to again acknowledge the board, the staff, and all of the supporters that have invested in EVkids over the 40 years, but folks that'll continue to do this. Again, thank you for allowing me to be part of this celebration this evening. I am honored and I am touched by this honor, and please continue to support this great organization. There's a lot of great success that's ahead. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Robert, you are magical. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for your inspiring words. Thank you for your compliments towards me. But more importantly, thank you for shining a light on EVkids. We appreciate you. We love you. We support you. And bravo to you in all that you do. So Robert gave us the marching orders, folks. He gave us our challenge. He said that we need to invest in EVkids. So let's talk about our fundraising goal and where we are and where we stand right now. We started out, remember I said $140,000 is our goal this evening for 40 years of EVkids. And I have just a new total. We are at $130,393. So less than $9,000 more to go here to reach our goal. But we want to surpass that goal if we can. I know we are in a pandemic, so that means the need is even greater. We have to reach out. We have to uplift and support our children in Boston to ensure that they are going to be a success. We're not going to stop their progress just because of this pandemic. So let's keep going. The donate button is right there above me. Please, I encourage you, I implore you to make the investment in EVkids. It's an investment that gives back a millionfold. Now, to celebrate 40 years, alumni like me, we've been looking at who we were before we met the program and who we are now. And I touched on a little bit, but as for me, I'm a wife. I am a mother of 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old downstairs trying to be quiet. I have a 14-year-old who's trying to do her homework. And I'm a journalist for NBC 10 Boston. I've been one for 22 years. I get to cover my hometown, which is truly a dream come true. I grew up in Dorchester, Columbia Point Housing Project. It's right near UMass Boston. And, that neighborhood had dead bodies. I remember news stations coming out to cover it and it being dangerous to walk to and from school and drug deals and stabbings. But my eye was kept on the prize because of EVkids and its investment. I mean, they came to me to pick me up, make sure I was safe getting to the program and returning home. They made sure I had my eyes open to college and knew that there was a way out. And it's because folks like you, sponsors like you, dug a little deeper and made the investment. And my story is not unique, as you see right now. I mean, I'm living a pinch me moment type of life, and it's because of a small investment. And it's time for all of us to really step up and to give back right now. So I encourage you to donate. And also, I want you to hear about the impact of EVkids and how it can last a lifetime. I want you to hear more right now from alumni and some current tutors.
My name's Rahel, and I'm a senior at Harvard College. This is my 4th year with EVkids. My strongest memory from EVkids is when my tutie and I went ice skating at the Boston Common Frog Pond. It was really nice to hang out outside of tutoring, and we definitely bonded a lot over that experience. EVkids to me is a very loving and supportive family, and I'm really grateful that I got to meet so many amazing people.
Looking back on EVkids, I always think about the closing circle and those small sharing moments. There was something special about the students and of all ages and their input and participation after a long day of school and tutoring. I always love to hear about their daily experiences. And of course, always ending with a to the top.
I met Tajane when she was repeating the 7th grade. It was a pretty tough time for her. She was transitioning schools a lot, and so while our relationship started out with a pretty academic focus, I think I realized how important it was to also just be present for her and be a friend and a support person. And she's even told me that over the years I've been one of the few constants in her life, and I think that's meant a lot to both of us. Now that I've graduated medical school, I want to continue to foster meaningful relationships with young women. I think that's some of the continuity I have with Tajane, that I found it really empowering to empower other women and be there for really critical periods in their life. And I want to do that with the rest of my career.
So I'm an educator now. I'm fully invested in mission-driven education. And having that experience with EVkids definitely served as foundational for what would ultimately become my vocation. EVkids was a place where I grew, and it was an integral part of my college experience. And the fact that 40 years on, it's continuing to give those opportunities to tutors and tutees gives me enormous pride to say that I was and still am part of this organization.
I heard about EVkids when I was a freshman at Harvard, and I was looking to do something that was public service oriented, and I started tutoring Jaquan. I stayed with him all 4 years that I was involved with EVkids. Now, first and foremost, I'm a father, and I think mentoring gives you some preparation for fatherhood. It's about being present and non-judgmental and listening a lot. I'm also a leader in my company, and that leadership is often about the same thing. It's about listening, but it's also about finding what it takes to make someone successful and helping bring that out of them.
At the end of my senior year, we held a moving on ceremony for graduating tutors and tutees. Michaela and her mom came and they brought me a huge bouquet of flowers and balloons, and it was so sweet. Being back working with students and focusing on creating a really positive experience for these students gives me flashbacks to when we were trying to really learn about what our tutees were going through on a daily basis and how we could adapt our tutoring and mentorship style to fit them and meet them where they are. It's nice to know that even if I'm physically not still part of the EVkids tutoring program, I'm still part of the EVkids family, and I always will be. Thanks, EVkids, for everything that you do, and congratulations on 40 years.
EVkids to me means giving kids now the opportunity I had, the opportunity and confidence to see what they have and give it back.
One of my proudest accomplishments is that I'm a BLA Dragon, Boston Latin Academy. And it was actually one of EVkids staff members, it was Julie, who suggested I take the exam to get into the exam schools. I didn't want to do it, but she even picked me up and drove me to it. But now as an adult, I love what she did. I love what EVkids did, because I love being a dragon. I really am so very proud of that. To be able to sit back and speak so fondly of my experience at Latin Academy, it makes me realize if it wasn't for Julie, if it wasn't for EVkids, I wouldn't be so proud to be a dragon. I wouldn't be so proud to be a Husky, having gone on to Northeastern. I'm now the 20-year Spanish voice of the Boston Red Sox. I'm actually the youngest broadcaster in baseball history, and I'm very proud of that too. EVkids gave me an achievement award at the Gala a few years ago, and I wanted that I have that plaque hanging up in my booth at Fenway, because it reminds me not only that I got my dream job, and to this point in my career, but that I'm still here.
I'm sorry, I tried to look away at the camera because I didn't want you to see me cry. But I have to tear up because you heard Yuri. He talked about his dream job, and I have my dream job. And I know another girl by the name of Kanisha, and she worked with Vertex, and she got her dream job working for pharmaceuticals. She's now a business leader. So many kids who are EVkids are now doing and living their best lives because of folks like you. It's a great organization, and it moves me to tears every year to hear the tutors talk about their connection and being moved to a life of service in college because they meet EVkids, and then the EVkids themselves who come back and make it a point to make sure that the organization continues for year after year after year. So I want to let you know that we're very close to our goal, and we need to surpass our goal. In this pandemic, kids are suffering more and more. I want to thank you, Alex and Phil, Lou, Bruno, who have stepped up so far. So let me tell you where we're in Carlin as well. Right now, we are at $139,103. Again, our goal is $140,000. We can meet that goal right now. So you say, well, what exactly will the money be going towards? Here it is. A gift of $2,000 can help EVkids fund the stipend for a camp counselor at EVkids Camp for the summer. I have an update, folks. So forgive me for crying. We are at $140,203. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. We have a couple minutes left here. Let's keep going. So a gift of $2,000 can fund the stipend for a camp counselor at EVkids Camp for the summer. How about a gift of $1,000 if you can't do $2,000? It introduces a high school student to a role model that helps get them to and from college. Robert Lewis Jr., thank you so much. We appreciate that. How about $500? That can fund an SAT prep class. Again, Julie was so amazing. She drove me to mine, helped move me into my college dorm, and there's so many connections that way. If you didn't have a ticket to the after party, I have to let you know that a donation of $260 or more will get you a link right now to the after party, and your gift of $260 can send a high school senior or junior to visit colleges and get them ready to apply to colleges. Dan and Beth, thank you for your donation. Lucy, thank you. Carla, thank you. Diana Rodriguez, one of my tutors, a doctor, my friend, still to this day, thank you so much for your donation. A gift of $100 can provide school supplies for a student for a year, or a graphing calculator as they move into advanced math. These gems in Boston, our children in Boston, they have bright futures. They just need a chance. We just need to give everybody a chance. Jacqueline, George, thank you so much. Eric and Isabel, we appreciate you. So we've talked about $100. How about this? It's been 40 years of this, a monumental achievement, 40 years of EVkids. How about a gift of $40 to celebrate 40 years of EVkids? If you've given, let's give one more time, $40 right now. Hit that donate button to celebrate EVkids. Stella, thank you so much. Thank you for making a donation. We appreciate you. Again, Lucy and Carla, we love you so, so much. $40 for 40 years of EVkids. Let's step up. Let's show up. Whether this is your first year as an EVkids supporter or your 40th, you are closing the distance between Boston youth and their dreams. And let me remind you that online auction, which is so phenomenal, if you get a chance to bid on the house in New Hampshire, I stayed there this summer. It is outstanding. Jen, thank you for your donation. Bill, thank you for your donation. Jack and Kevin, thank you for your donation. Joe and Jaime, thank you for your donation. So go to the auction items. Again, it's up until tomorrow at 9 p.m. because we have great items and it's outstanding. And you're supporting EVkids. So visit evkids.org/auction to bid. And if you are a sponsor or a VIP ticket holder, continue on to the after party. The link is in your email. And Robert and I will see you there in 15 minutes, and we'll have a really powerful panel discussion. So if you have any challenges, don't worry. You can email tech support at evkids.org if you have a link to a challenge with the link, or donate. Excuse me, let me say it right. Avrigal, thank you. Avrigal, thank you. Jacqueline, thank you again. And Jasmine, thank you so much. Also, Parker and Appa, we appreciate your donations. They're coming in. We have achieved our goal, but we can continue here, folks, because we need to raise these vital funds to keep EVkids going for generation after generation after generation. Jasmine, thank you. Bella, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Again, keep the donations coming. We're doing God's work here. We truly are. Okay, I want to thank you so much for ignoring my tears. Oh, I have a final number for you. $147,253. $147,253. Give yourselves. Oh, hold on. Before you give yourself an applause, I want to say something to you. Can we right now get to $150,000? That's our challenge. I mean, it's for EVkids. It's for continuing the program, for the summer camp, for the college preparatory, for the tutor-tutee relationship. Can we get there? We're less than $3,000 away. I have to ask you right now, can we dig a little deeper? Can we invest in something? Can we uplift? 2020 has been so hard for us, but can we show up for EVkids and for the children of Boston right now? I'm asking you to dig a little deeper. I hope we can get there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the community of support for Boston's children. Thank you for being a launching pad. Thank you for being a part of the empowerment. Thank you for showing up for Boston's youth, especially in these tough times. I'm Latoya Edwards for EVkids. You can see me on NBC 10 Boston Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 7 right before the Today Show. But more importantly, you can always catch me at the EVkids Gala every single year. Well, I will give my heart and soul to continue this program. I hope you're with me. You are now a part of the EVkids family. If you pledged and donated $260 or more, I'll see you at the after party. More importantly, I appreciate your love and your support for EVkids. I appreciate you taking the time to have dinner with us this evening and connect. I'll see you next year. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Donate now. Have a great evening, everybody, and enjoy the sing-along.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old, they're older than the trees, younger than country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, strangers to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning as she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down that road I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads, take me home, now country roads.